Hey, what is up, guys? When I was in high school, I came up with a card trick, a card prediction effect, if you will, which I now call psychic intuition. But what sets my card trick apart from others is the fact that the spectator does the magic. You're able to make the spectator appear to have psychic powers. And I recently revisited this trick and I've come up with and it's now become one of my favorite tricks to perform, as far as something that I've created, because I've come up with a very clean handling. Originally, when I created this, the handling couldn't be done as cleanly. It didn't look nearly as impossible as it does now. And I've come up with a whole routine, because there is something you have to do at the end, kind of what I like to call cleanup. But this trick is incredibly easy to perform and pretty mind blowing. So I'm going to get right into the explanation because I don't have a spectator to perform this on, but you will get exactly what's going on. You'll understand what's going on. Now, originally I would perform this with an ordinary deck, because at the time I did not have a marked deck. And it is possible to perform this with an ordinary deck. The problem, however, is you have to sneak a peek at the card. You have to look at, because you're going to tell the spectator to try to find, you know, you're going to make it seem like you're having them find cards you name at random. And but you're going to have to sneak a peek at the card when you remove it from the deck and put it off to the side. You yourself have to sneak a peek at the card, and so that can look a little suspicious to your audience, which is why I now use a marked deck. And I think one of the best marked decks on the planet would be the Bicycle Ultimate Marked deck, which you can now find on certain Chinese bargain sites for $10. When it first came out, it was like $45. Now you can get it for $10. Don't know if it's going to be a made like the original with a real deck of rider backs, or if it's going to be a fake, knockoff of rider backs. But for $10, it should do the trick, if you don't want to spend the $40 on the real Ultimate Mark deck. And what I like about the Ultimate Mark deck is it is speed readers. It's marked with letters, numbers, and pips, so you can instantly know what the card is. And the numbers are fairly, letters, numbers, and pips are bigger than what you see on most marked decks, but they're built into the back design within the white. If you get the red or blue, it comes in red or blue. They're built in with the white ink back design, so they go unnoticed, which is great. So here we go. So here's what you're going to start off doing. You're going to need 2 duplicate cards. This particular marked deck that I'm using, the Keepers, this is one of my favorite decks on the planet. I just love the beautiful back design of the lighthouse, and it's marked. But you can bend these cards literally all the way like this, and it will not crease or permanently damage the cards. They're Cardamundi cardstock. Look, no crease in the card. So that's what I like about these cards. So here's the setup. The setup is you're going to need to put 2 duplicates, one on the bottom, one on the top. That's it. Now you're going to do a little riffle shuffle. Now as you do the riffle shuffle, you're going to make sure that you drop a few cards down first, so that the queens, you want both queens to stay in the same position. Okay? So you want to make sure that you still keep the queen on top and the queen on bottom. So whatever shuffle you do, you've got to keep control of these cards on top and bottom. Okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to tell a spectator to hold their hand out. This is going to be part of the routine, because this move is also going to allow you to do the final cleanup. So you're going to tell a person to hold their hand out. You're going to touch their hand for a moment and tell them that you're transferring your psychic powers to them. You're transferring over psychic powers. Now you say, let's see if this actually worked. Now you're going to make it seem like you're having the spectator find cards you're just thinking of at random, but no. You're actually going to be naming specific cards. And so the first card you're going to tell the spectator to try to find is the Queen of Hearts. Now it doesn't matter what card the spectator chooses, because any card that they choose, this trick is always going to work out in your favor. It's always going to be right. Whatever card they pick, it's going to be right. So you have them go through, and let me adjust my camera down some. Okay, so you have them go through, pick any card they want. Let's say in this case, they say this one. You're going to look at the markings. Okay. I'm looking at the markings. This is the 7 of clubs. Okay. Because I'm looking at the markings. So this is the next card I'm going to tell them to find. I say, but you're going to make it seem like you're just naming out random cards. You're just thinking of cards at random. You say, I don't know. Let's go. 7 of clubs. Where is the 7 of clubs? They can go through, pick any card. Oh, this one. You're going to look at that card, and you can do 5. You can have them find 10 cards, 12 cards. I like to do just have them find 3 cards. Now I'm going to have them look for the 3 of hearts. Okay, the 3 of hearts. So they go through. Let's say they choose this one. Now, okay, this one's the King of Diamonds. Okay, now here's the deal. Now, I'm going to tell them, now I need, the first card I told them to find was the Queen of Hearts. So I need to either remove the Queen of Hearts that's on the top or the bottom. I need to somehow remove it and add it to this pile so that every card that I named will be here in this pile, making it seem as if they found all the cards. So what I recently came up with for doing this is I say, okay, look, I'm going to try to find, what was it? King of Diamonds. Hold your hand out. I need to take back my psychic powers. They hold their hand out. I reach in. I touch their hand. Now I want to make sure that I have my psychic powers back. So I'm going to go and I'm going to try to find the King of Diamonds. King of Diamonds is right here, but they don't know that. So now all I have to do is steal back the Queen, which was secretly the first card I told them to look for. So in order to steal back the Queen, I say, look, I'm going to try to find the King of Diamonds. And I go like this. And I go and I say, that's weird. I don't know if I got my psychic powers back because I'm not sensing anything. Hold on, I'm getting something. For some reason, it almost feels like the very last card. Yeah, I'm getting a strong suspicion that the very last card is the King of Diamonds. Now I gather up all the cards like this. And it's always a good idea to have someone write down all the cards you tell your spectator to find so they can go back and reference. And you say, look, I just tried to find the King of Diamonds, and I found it. I told you to find the Queen of Hearts. Then I told you to find the 3 of Hearts. Then I told you to find the 7 of Clubs, and you found every card. You found your cards, and I found my card. Now, the fact that I was able to find the King of Diamonds confirms to me that you no longer have psychic powers. I need to take back my powers. With great power comes great responsibility, and you're not ready for it. So I had to take back my powers. Plus, I don't want you going and playing the lottery. That's cheating. Okay? So anyways, that's it, guys. That is how you do my effect. Psychic intuition, I think, is what I'm going to wind up calling this effect. Really simple, mind-blowing effect. It absolutely amazes the hell out of people because they have a free choice of any card. They do everything themselves. You know, any magician can make themselves appear to be psychic, But when you make somebody else, when you make the spectator themselves psychic, it really fries their brain and just amazes them. So I hope you guys have fun performing this effect. I hope you like this effect. And I hope you could hear me okay. So thank you guys so much. And let me know what you think of my effect. Peace.